I'm Maureen Rogers, and this is Curtain Call, and we're happy today to have cast and crew of Miracle on 34th Street. It's appearing at Laurel Mill Playhouse. It's running from December the 6th through December the 22nd. So why don't you all introduce yourselves and tell us what parts you have in this great play.
Sure. Hi, I'm Jen Sizer, and I am the director of Miracle on 34th Street at Laurel Mill Playhouse.
And I'm Christine Johnson. I play the Honorable Judge Harriet Harper.
Well, we're really glad to have both of you. Jen, why don't you tell us a little bit about the story of Miracle on 34th Street? I know it's a holiday favorite, but some people may not know the story, and why you are directing this show.
Sure.
Besides me asking you.
Well, when we were discussing doing a holiday show this year, we were looking at a lot of different scripts, and I realized that I hadn't seen Miracle on 34th Street on stage very often, and I knew there was a script for it, so we were able to get the rights to do the script. It's kind of, Miracle on 34th Street is a little dear to me because I grew up watching that with my family from a very early age, so it's been a classic in our family and just sort of a tradition every year. So I think my little nephew might get to watch it this year. So that's why I wanted to do that script. And the story, if you've never seen it, is about, it takes place in 1947, and it starts out with the Macy's parade. There's the director of the parade is a woman, and she's a single mom with a little girl, and she's very much against anything fantastical. So she's raised her daughter not to believe in Santa Claus and not to believe in fairy tales. And their next door neighbor, possibly a love interest, if you come see the show you'll find out, decides that he wants to bring a little Christmas and a little fun into their lives. This mysterious gentleman, Kris Kringle, happens to show up. He insists that he's Santa Claus. Nobody really believes him, but the little girl starts to believe that he might be Santa Claus. A lot of things happen to Santa, or to Kris, and he ends up going on trial to determine whether or not he is Santa Claus. So it's a very fun story, and I think you'll really enjoy it if you come to see it.
Kind of put you in the holiday spirit, I think.
Definitely.
For sure. It's a big cast, right?
We have around 30 people in this cast, which is the largest show that I've ever directed. But it's a lot of fun. Lots of elves, lots of little kids.
And we're pleased to have Christine here with us, who not only works at Laurel TV, but is in the show. And this is her first time, and I'm so glad you could come out and be with us for the interview.
Thank you.
So we want people to come to Laurel Mill Playhouse on an ongoing basis and audition. Maybe they haven't had experience before. So can you tell us how your experience was? You evidently survived really well.
Right. So the process was actually very easy. I found the information because I work here, but I found the information through Facebook. So you had the information available on Facebook to come out to do the open call. You just come out, show up, read a part for the script. Jen was there, very comforting, very comfortable with the whole reading process, because like I said, it was my very first time, so I didn't know what to expect. But very easy. Me and my son actually both went, but yeah, just read and do your best.
Great. You did well, and so did your son. I was disappointed he wasn't going to do it. Did anything surprise you during this process, because it's almost ready to open, so you've gone from holding your script to being off book to being in costume? How was that whole experience for you?
Like you mentioned, off book, I think that term, they just yelled the term. I was like, oh, what does that mean? I guess I had to figure out what that meant. Getting familiar with the stage, the different ways you enter and exit, and then backstage also. I guess it's a little life back there. Like you have different props and you have all your stuff back there. You don't realize that much stuff is back there, but yeah, it was a very enlightening experience, very enlightening.
You have a great speaking voice. It's one of those. It's a great voice, for stage. And have you used that voice for performing before or anything like that? for this
No,
job? No?
Not for performing. I've done voiceover with my husband, with his business. I've done voiceover at church. I do announcements at church.
Okay.
And I have my own show on Laurel TV, but I like to read and speak, so I guess it comes in handy.
Yeah, that's great. And tell us a little bit about your part that you're doing for this show.
Sure. So I'm, like I mentioned, the Honorable Judge Harriet Harper. And I think she's running for re-election in the spring, right? And she has this political advisor that's trying to tell her like not to take this case because it's going to be, bad for her. But she decides to do it. And I think at first she isn't sure. And then she have to find this miraculous way to, get Santa free. So I guess you watch her attitude and her emotions and experiences throughout the second act.
So do you feel like you're like that person? Or are you having to pull from a different source to act like her?
A little different. I like, Jen has been very instrumental in guiding me and telling me, so she gives very good cues and suggestions. So I like what she says, when I'm stoic, when I'm supposed to be authoritative and be the judge, and then, when we go to the judge's chambers, it's a little different. So I think I may pull a little bit from myself for that part.
Yeah. So what's been the hardest thing about this show, Jen? Certainly the amount of people on stage.
The amount of people, the amount of kids in this show, they've been fantastic to work with. It's a really talented little group of kids. They are really excited about it. They've been very helpful. They listen well. It's just a lot of children to work with. But, and the cast in general, trying to get everybody on stage technically, because Laurel is a real intimate space. I love directing in that space. It's very small stage with some permanent walls. So trying to fit everyone on stage and make it look well and make sure that the audience out there can see everybody lined up correctly and there's no blind spots. That's been a little difficult with this show. I've succeeded, but it was a lot of thought that had to go into that. I'm used to doing a much smaller cast.
And we do say that every seat at Laurel Mill Playhouse is like front row.
Yes.
And there's only 59 seats, so please get your tickets early. Tell us about some of the other things that you've directed. I'm sure that you've seen Jen's work.
At Laurel Mill, I most recently directed One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Prior to that, I did To Kill a Mockingbird and Arsenic and Old Lace, as well as some one-acts that I've done there. And I've also directed at some other theaters in the area. I directed up at the Green Globe Theater in Baltimore, and I directed in Linthicum, and I also act in the area. So I've done several performances around the area here.
So are you rehearsing for one of Jeff Dunn's shows?
Yeah, I'm actually rehearsing for 2 shows right now.
Oh my gosh.
Jeff Dunn is a local playwright, and I directed one of his one-acts at LMP that was really fun, about a Alexa that goes a little haywire.
That was fun.
So currently, he had a one-act that was accepted at a one-act festival up in New York City. So I'm rehearsing for that now, and that'll be my New York City debut, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's great.
Right, and I'm also in a Shakespeare show that's up in Reisterstown.
No grass grows under your feet. Thank you both so much for coming out and talking to our audience. And please make sure that you come and see the show and get the tickets early. Go to laurelmillplayhouse.org. Purchase them online. It's a small theater, so you want to make sure you get your ticket ahead of time. And make sure you come out and support Christine Johnson from Laurel TV because they're always so good to us to let us come on here and do our show about the upcoming shows that we have. So thank you both again.
Thank you for having us.
Stay tuned, and you're going to meet some of the kids that are in Miracle on 34th Street.
HHV delivers specialty design arts and craft kits that serve as a therapeutic tool to help veterans during their recuperation. They can also help with PTSD. The kits are free and can be sent directly to your home. Call this number or visit hhv.org to learn more.
Welcome back to Curtain Call, and I'm so pleased to have some of the children that are in Miracle on 34th Street, and they are siblings. So why don't you tell me your name first and what parts you play?
Well, first I would like to say thank you so much, Miss Maureen, for having me on the show. My name is Alexandra Bredland, and I play Susan. I'm the lead kid in Miracle, and Doris is my mom.
Great.
I'm Sam Bredland, first off, and I play Street Boy. I also play a role called Dutch Girl, or really Dutch Boy, and it's super fun because I don't normally speak Dutch, so learning Dutch, super fun.
Well, thank you both for coming and being with me today. We really appreciate it. And it's great to have you back at Laurel Mill Playhouse. You both were in Oliver before, weren't you?
Yes, we were.
So what is your favorite part about your role, Alex?
My favorite part about my role is because it's just got so much amazing in it. It has this detail, and it has happy emotion. It has a lot of emotion, and it's a talent role. I'm surprised I even got it.
So is this the biggest role that you've had in a play or a musical?
Yes.
Oh, great, great. And what have you liked about your being in this show?
I like really all the cast and how much our director puts into this. She's really fun.
Oh,
and
great.
Yeah.
And isn't it fun to be in a show with your sister? You like
Yeah,
that?
it really is.
Yeah, that helps. And you've all done a lot of stuff recently, haven't you? You've been in movies and commercials?
Yes, I've been in a lot of movies. We're like rich. We got the moolah.
It's always good to have moolah.
Yeah.
So have you told the kids at school that you're in this and invited them to come?
Yes.
Yes.
We've invited our teachers. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
that-
good.
I keep forgetting them. Finally, I told her.
Oh, that's great. And you have such supportive parents, you know.
They are so supported. I love them so much.
They help us with lines. We really just
They help
think
us with
they're
clothes.
amazing.
They also help us with really anything. They are like our superhero guardians.
Oh, we were talking about this earlier. What is your favorite line that you say in the play?
I think the hero float is better this year, Mother.
And what's your favorite line that you hear in the play, Sam?
Definitely Finley's line in the courtroom. I won't spoil it all, but he says, "Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?"
Oh, great. So you'll have to come and see where these lines are, or why
Yeah.
they're saying them and hearing them, what the whole story is. Now, you guys are pretty young to be in this play. What would you say to other children who want to act at Laurel Mill Playhouse?
I would say it's amazing. Laurel Mill Playhouse is this amazing stage. You got all these seats, and there's a lot of stuff. There's like popcorn. There's amazing stuff, and it just has a magnificent screenshot. Whatever they can do, they do anything for you. They're like your servants, and they're really nice.
I'm going to hire you as my marketing manager. So,
Oh,
how
yeah.
about you, Sam? What advice would you give to like somebody your age that wants to try out for a play?
I say, go for it. I mean, like, do you really have anything to lose? I mean, like, with acting, you normally don't pay any money. So, I mean, like, what you got to lose?
Right, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun.
And is it? How do you feel about working with adults? Do you learn something from them?
I learned something like they tell me what to do. If not like a man like command this, like do this. They're being nice about it. Say, hey, I think you're supposed to do this. The director, holy cow, she's the best. She's amazing. She tells everyone what to do. They agree with it. She's so nice. She offers everything just to us. She's the best director I've ever had.
I
Don't
think
tell
Jen
my other
Sizer will
directors.
use you as a marketing director too. How about you, Sam?
What was the question again? Sorry.
I think I'm going to switch questions because this is a good one. Why do you think people should come see this show?
It's just amazing in every way. I mean, like, we got doors that open and close. We got Santa in jail even.
And how about you, Alex?
We have amazing props, the stage, the detail, everything is just so cool. And Laurel Playhouse is an amazing company that just makes it like look actual real. It's got a lot of talent in it and it looks realistic.
Well, you guys are absolutely amazing. And
Thank
you so much for being
It
here.
was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
So be sure that you come to see this show and see these amazing kids plus other amazing children. It's a big, big cast. So stay tuned, and I've got some special guests that'll be coming up.
Two identical cars leave their identical homes at exactly the same time. One driver pays close attention to their surroundings and obeys the posted speed limit. The other hurries through their neighborhood, going a little bit too fast, not paying attention. A group of children are playing in their front yard, and a ball rolls out into the street. One car stops, and nothing else happens. The other, well, let's just say it can change lives forever. Keep kids alive. Drive 25.
Welcome back to Curtain Call. We've been talking about Tech Week and Laurel Playhouse with Miracle on 34th Street. Some people call it Hell Week, but we don't do that at Laurel Playhouse.
Call it Heck Week.
It might be. But anyhow, thanks for coming. Why don't you tell us your name and what part you're playing? You can kind of figure out what this one might be playing.
Hi. I'm Lenny Dinerman, and I'm playing Kris Kringle.
I'm Michael Safko, and I'm playing Fred Gayley.
So, Michael, tell me a little bit about your part in this show. You're really the romantic lead, aren't you?
Well, one of them,
Yeah.
It takes two.
In 40 style, it's all
40
very...
style. Yes. So yeah, I'm, I guess, the lawyer boyfriend. His name changes in all the iterations of Miracle on 34th Street, but in the 1947 version and in this version, he is Fred Gayley. He spends his Christmas befriending Susan, the little girl next door, so that he can get to know her mother, who is a single mother that he likes.
It's so sweet. It's such a sweet story. It really is. And Lenny, how about your part?
This part is really kind of exciting for me. It's the biggest part I've ever had, so I hope I don't mess it up too badly, but yeah, I'm excited about that.
So how is it interacting with the kids? I feel like they've grown to believe.
The kids are great. Alex and Sam and the elves, Mia and Miracle, and they're just terrific. We seem to get along pretty well, so I'm glad of that.
So that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
And what's been the hardest part? I think you might have just said it about there's a lot of lines in this particular.
Yes, and I been diagnosed with. It's harder to memorize more lines, but it's coming along. Jen says she still has faith in me.
There's nothing like opening night when that adrenaline gets going. It happens. It's magic. So it definitely will happen.
As your lawyer, I advise you can plead the fifth.
Thank you, Mr. Gayley. This guy, he's the best.
Really funny. So what's been the fun part for you in this show, Michael?
I actually appreciate the challenge of being Fred Gayley because unlike a lot of the other roles that I've been playing lately, Fred has been the most that I see myself in. We're both lawyers. We both take things not as seriously as we probably should sometimes. And it's been really interesting to be like, instead of what would my character do in this situation, to think, what would I do in this situation? And then I start having to make decisions for myself, and then it starts stressing me out.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate that sort of challenge, and it's surprising to me that it would be like that. You'd think it would be tougher to be someone who's the complete opposite of yourself, but it hasn't been the case.
That's that's interesting. It really is.
Yeah.
So, so what are how is the, with so many people on the stage, how does that work out in such a small stage as Laurel Mill Playhouse? You're able to get through that with a lot of people on the stage with you?
Oh yeah, it's crowded, but it's just like any other audience.
Yeah.
Just walk through them, try not to stick your butt in their face. But
So what were the other roles that you've done? I know you were in Jekyll and Hyde.
I was in Jekyll and Hyde. I was General Glossop in that one. Then in June, I was in Charlie's Aunt, and I was Fancourt Babberley, and that one had me running around in a dress.
Yeah,
So.
that was great.
And then I was also in the One Act Festival in July, where I played H.H. Holmes,
Right,
who's a
right.
serial killer.
A pretty gruesome character.
Yes.
And Lenny, you were in Oliver last year around this time. And about a
Yeah, that
dozen
was my
other
first
shows in
show.
between, yeah.
Yeah, Oliver's my first, and I think this will be the 9th.
Really? Oh, that's great.
So,
And tell the audience how you came to be at Laurel Mill Playhouse. Do you remember? You came out to hand out candy at Trick or Treat on Main
that's right,
Street.
that's right. Yeah, I came to do the Halloween on Main Street that year, and I met you and Marv and your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And from there, looked on the website and coming auditions, and so my daughter actually, she kind of said, "Hey, you ought to try that," She's like, "Why don't you get out of the house already?" But so I did, and John Cusimano was the director of that, and he called me back, so that was exciting.
And had you ever acted before?
Just in high school,
Just in high
and
school?
a little bit of community theater after that, but so it felt good just to do it again, and I just came to really like Laurel Theater. I've never really acted anywhere else, so I'm content to do that.
This is what happens at Laurel Mill Playhouse when we need a part. Call Lenny.
I'm just,
And that's because you're good, too.
You're sweet. You're so
good.
kind.
And so what you're also saying is that any age, you saw the younger people starting out at Laurel Mill Playhouse, and you started out at Laurel Mill Playhouse being a tad older than the kids.
I think anyone that's interested in stage, theater, Laurel Mill Playhouse is a great place to start.
And Michael, you and Megan, your wife, have come to Laurel Mill Playhouse fairly recently.
Yes.
And have stuck with us, which we so appreciate. And your wife's in the show also.
Yes, she is.
So it's good to have her. Can you tell me why you think people should come and see this show?
I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. It's a timeless Christmas classic, fun for all ages. There's kids, there's adults, wonderful acting all around. It's not too short, not too long, and it's just such an uplifting story. I have a lot of fun with these shows, but this story is really getting to me.
It's a feel-good story.
It really is, yeah.
I think it puts you in the holiday spirit for sure.
Well, I've been doing Christmas shows since July, so I've been in the holiday spirit for a while.
Great. And Lenny, what do you think people should come and see the show? Besides coming to see you, of course, but.
It's just, it's fun.
It's a fun show. It's one of those classics. And
yeah, it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, that's right. We should say
and
that.
And it is a classic. And I like that it's true to the time period. Jen wants to do it in the late 40s.
Right.
So
right.
That I like that.
Yep, I think that's good. I think that's part of its charm is to do it in the era that it was originally done in. So, We thank you so much for being in the show and continuing to be in the shows. And
Thanks, Maureen.
don't forget to get your tickets online at laurelmillplayhouse.org because this will sell out. So thank you both, and we'll see you soon with our next show, which is going to be an Agatha Christie, The Unexpected Guest. Thank you.